Here we are in Bend, Oregon. As you can see, it is a snowy morning. Lots of snow on the trees. It's very beautiful, but it's gonna warm up and melt off probably in the next couple hours. We're getting ready to hit the road for the first leg of our journey, which is gonna take us from here in Bend, Oregon, all the way to Portland, where we're gonna stay a night, and then tomorrow in the later afternoon, around 5 o'clock, hop on the Amtrak train for the first leg, which will be after dark, and it'll be from Portland to Spokane. So we're super excited. We tried to pack as light as possible, but we are with a toddler, so we had to bring a handful of extra things, you know. In addition to just the diaper bag, he's got all of his clothes, we got snacks, we got toys, we got books. So we tried to narrow it down to just the things that we need. Definitely gonna be more than we're used to, and we have to make sure that we hop on the flight back, which is a direct flight from Chicago to Portland, that we don't have too much, that we have to pay for extra baggage. So we're gonna have to consolidate, probably throw away a lot of things, food, stuff like that we're not gonna have on the way back, which will be nice. So far, everything we got is just jammed in the trunk here, our little tiny car. It's got nothing else packed in it yet. So we made it to Portland for our next step. It's absolutely disgusting, rainy day as always up here, but 4:45 the train takes off. We're gonna try to get downtown to Union Station probably an hour early. They say they'd be there at least a half an hour early, but with Friday traffic, we're gonna get there even earlier. Just arrived here at Union Station in Portland. I would recommend that if you're coming here, come by car, not on foot, because it passes through some neighborhoods that at the moment are experiencing crazy amount of like homelessness. There's just people passed out all along the sidewalks. There's like needles and stuff everywhere. It's kind of a mess out there. This train station, there are people camping outside, just outside the building, but there is security and stuff. So we're just gonna go get checked in, and we're gonna check out the lounge. So here's the lounge. There's quite a few people in here when we showed up. You can see that it's not exactly gigantic, but here's a little cooler with some waters. Here's a coffee machine that makes all sorts of different types of coffee for you. They got different sodas, sparkling water, that sort of thing. Over here is a machine that gives you ice water. This machine gives you sparkling water, something like that, mineral water. And there's some little snack boxes here that have some hummus that doesn't need to be refrigerated. Ready to go on the train?
Yeah.
You excited?
No.
You're not excited?
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah.
Say happy.
I'll be.
Yay.
No.
Where's the train we're gonna go on?
That.
It's that one right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna sleep on it?
Yeah.
And we're going where?
Gaga.
Chicago. We have everything confined to a baby bag for Joey, his little travel stroller, a bag of food, blanket, carry-on, backpack for me with a mini sleeping bag, and then my jacket. So we're on a sleeper car, so we gotta walk all the way down to the end. Car number 30 or something like that, 2830. And we're room C, I believe, which is a bedroom. Looks like it's gonna be the last car. Here's home for the next couple days. So here's how you get to the room. You come in through these doors right here, take a left, and right up the stairs. Up. Next set. We start with a very narrow hallway right here that our room is off of. In the sleeper cars, there are only, I believe, 5 bedrooms. All the other ones are roomettes. This is what we have, which is a door that slides, latch is shut. Behind that, in here, we have a curtain for privacy. Now last night, hallway light never turned off. All night that light was on, and it came through a little bit through this window. Curtain blocks it pretty well, but it's not, perfect. A hint we got from the guy who was working here is to leave the door cracked open to get some more airflow, because it ended up getting really hot last night, especially for me on the upper bunk. We had it turned all the way to cool, but above me right here is a vent that was blowing right onto me, and it was hot air, especially when we stopped and they were moving the rail cars around. We lost power in here. We lost the ventilation for about an hour 15. It got really hot. So next up we have our little teeny tiny little sink here. It does everything it should. You have your hot and your cold water. We got some disinfecting wipes. Nice little mirror, towels. We have in here extra towels, cups, tissues, that sort of thing. So just behind that we have a light switch that controls the light that's in the bathroom. It's up here. First of all, we'll talk about the height of this door. I'm 6'3". I'd say it's about 6.5 feet, maybe a little bit less, but plenty big. Here are the beds. Down below, it's folded up into the couch right now, but up above, the bunk is folded down. It's worked out really well. My wife was able to sleep down here with our toddler. There's plenty of space for 2 people, even a couple fit here very well. 2 people up here would be difficult because there are straps that go from right here to up above, so you don't roll out while you're sleeping. You don't have to use them. This folds out pretty much all the way the width of the hallway right here. Our little extra chair right here, Little storage area next to it, storage area above it. Big mirror, full size. I can see every inch of myself in here. Here we have some kind of button, something that doesn't work, has absolutely no function whatsoever. Behind this mirror, this actually slides, so if there were 2 bedrooms that were rented, you could slide and have a giant room. This door was rattling really bad. I had to jam a towel in there to make it quiet down. Over here we have the basic controls. You control the ceiling light, turn the night light on, call the attendant, that sort of thing, reading light. Over here we have an outlet that works good for charging. We have the temperature control and another reading light. Currently here in the bathroom we have the ladder that allows you to climb up to the upper bunk, but I haven't even been using it, so I just kind of put it here to get it out of the way. Here's the toilet, a little bit of room. There's plenty of room for me, and I'm 6'3". There's not really an issue there. I didn't shower in here. I showered in the community shower downstairs because it's way more spacious. But we have been using this toilet, which is nice. It's separate from the community ones downstairs that all the people who have roomettes have to use. Some extra towels stocked up here. Here is the garbage, which is a narrow little garbage can that is kind of sandwiched in there. Underneath these seats, we do have quite a bit more storage. You could fit carry-ons and that sort of thing under here if you wanted to. Overall, I would say that the room was pretty clean, but definitely not that clean. We had to wipe down pretty much every surface. There were crumbs in a lot of areas. The carpet was pretty dirty. Keep in mind, you probably want to bring baby wipes, or we brought disinfecting wipes, you know, to really clean all these surfaces. In the public areas, everything's pretty dirty too. Things are in pretty rough shape. There's a lot of grime and that sort of thing. These trains don't get cleaned all that thoroughly. I mean, guy came through with a battery-powered vacuum once per day in the hallways, and that's about it. Here I am seated in that armchair in the corner. You can see how much leg room there is. You could sit another person right here and probably another 2 over here. Nice is there's lots of floor space, so my kid can go down and walk around, mess around, can climb and play on here. We had him doing Play-Doh. This folds out into a little table, which is nice. He can do arts and crafts or whatever he's working on. And we could sit and we could see the beautiful views all along the way. And what's really cool about the bedroom that I didn't realize watching other people's videos is the bedroom, yeah, it has a window on one side. I thought that was going to cost us seeing everything that's on the other side, short of going to the observation car. But in all actuality, this room is so wide it takes up most of the car. So the hallway on the other side, turning around, which is just outside the curtain, has giant windows all along it too. So if you want to see out the other side, just leave the door open. You can peek out right here and see everything as you pass by. It's almost sunset right now. It's just beautiful. I'm about to make my way to the observation car, which is about 3 cars that way, and we're going to take a look at this beautiful sunset. The food has been pretty good, but one thing to keep in mind is that if you're starting from Portland, the first night you're not going to have the dining car. You're only going to have a box of meals, which they're pretty bad, but they're free. So it could be worse. But if you're in the Seattle train, you're going to be missing the observation car, but you will have the dining car your first night. It's nice to have the observation car leaving Portland so you can see the Columbia River Gorge. But the thing is, it's February, so this time of year it got dark 5 o'clock, so pretty much as soon as we got on the train, we couldn't see anything else. Now, one really big question that we did have, will the meals from my toddler be included since he's under 2? Because he's under 2, we didn't have to buy him a boarding pass. And when I called twice. Both times they told me the meals would not be included. But now, having been here on the train, he's gotten a meal the last 2 meals in a row. We spent almost $1,500 on this room, so they're not going to nickel and dime us for a kid's meal, because the kids' meals are like $20. But we really appreciate that. We've been able to get milk for him, which is nice, because he likes to drink milk before he goes to bed. So we just sat down for breakfast in the dining car. Some beautiful views over here in Montana, between Essex and West Glacier, I believe.
Yeah, if you're in the northern part of the state.
Here's a look at some of your breakfast and lunch options. For breakfast, we chose the 3 egg omelet one day, and we chose the quesadilla the other day. They both were pretty good, no complaints. They're a little bit greasy, but tasty. So we just finished up with breakfast. Wasn't bad, but definitely not worth 20 bucks if it's not an all-included thing, like if you get a sleeper room. This ride is getting really beautiful right now. We're passing through Glacier National Park, so there's tons of snow. Lots of little small towns, that sort of thing, animals running around outside. Ready for a beautiful day of traveling through what's mostly going to be Montana. So here's Shelby. You can see a little saloon over there, hardware store, a couple other things, but really not much. Can't imagine there's too much to do around here. Probably a lot of agriculture, that sort of thing. All right, it's real cold out here. This is the length of the train. It's pretty long. I'm gonna go for a little walk here. These right here are the coach cars that are 2 levels. So we go farther down, you can see the observation car right here that has the windows up in the top section. Supposedly we have about 20 minutes. It's very cold out. I can feel the snot freezing in my nose. So it's about noon. Joey is getting really tired. Wants to take a nap, but he did say he wanted to eat lunch first. So we figure we'll go try and get lunch right when it starts in about 2 minutes. Eat for about a half an hour, and then we'll probably all try and catch up on a little nap time. Right now we're passing through central Montana. It's very cold out. It's very beautiful. So here are our lunch options right here. I think what we're gonna go with is the burger. Seems like the obvious choice. Joey's gonna be sharing that with us. Beautiful views right now of central Montana. Here's the lunch Angus burger. Joey got the kids mac and cheese. Pretty good. Not bristly or anything like that. Decent beef patty. Joey's enjoying some Play-Doh right here. Now out the window we have a beautiful view of the Rockies. East of East Glacier was our last stop. Some beautiful views out these northern windows right here. We just rolled into Browning, Montana. It's behind me out the window here. It's going to be a really quick stop. They said to stay in your train car, not to get out. Some of the stops that are 5-10 minutes, they let people out. They can have a smoke, walk around. But some of these shorter ones, they ask you to stay on. And if you get off, you're probably going to get left behind. Because you just saw we stopped. And I bet if I keep the video rolling, you'll see we'll be moving again probably in about a minute or maybe even less. Yep, starting to move. We really only stopped here for like 30 seconds. That's how fast it is. If one person needs to get off, one person needs to get on. A lot of the stops on the list, because you'll see there's like 50 stops, a lot of them are really short. Be stopping in Havre, and that's where we're going to be fueling up or something like that. Not much going on a cold day in Browning, Montana. So here's the schedule, and on the schedule is a list in highlight of the places where we have enough time when we stop that you can actually get out. Now I was trying to figure this out online. There really wasn't any information, so this might be able to help you if you're going to take this train. It shows you where you have enough time to get out. They call them fresh air smoke break. They're highlighted in orange. The freight trains will always have the priority on the track, so many times on our journey here we had to pull off and let the freight trains go by like you see on the screen. This gigantic train passing somewhere in Montana. So it is time now to take the shower on the train for a test drive. I'm not going to be using the one that's in our bedroom because a lot of our stuff is in the bathroom. We're using it to save space. So I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to use the shared one. From what I saw earlier, they were stocked with some towels, but after an hour or two in the morning, they were all gone. So I'm going to bring one of the ones from up here. Some roomettes. We're gonna go left. Here's where we enter the train. You can hear the train noise downstairs. Pretty loud. There is the shower. So this is a pretty loud room. You can hear a lot of track noise. But I'll show you what we got. We have deodorant, soap, we have shampoo, conditioner, body wash, that sort of thing. We have hand towels. There was a stack of big towels that was here earlier, but they're all gone now because it's in the afternoon. Somebody left one right here. I'll probably toss in the hamper. And here's the shower itself. We have a little spot to hang something up. The shower door, which is glass, so it looks pretty clean, I would say. A little bit grimy down here, but see outside down the drain, just goes right onto the tracks. We got hot and cold water. We're going to test out the pressure right now and see how it is. Pressure is looking really good. The water is hot. I'm 6'3" and there's plenty of room in here for me, so this looks like it's going to be pretty good. We're currently passing through the Fort Peck Indian Reservation. It's on the eastern side of Montana. We have dinner reservations set up for 6:30. They had a lady come around to the sleeper cars first and set what time you wanted to eat. They're doing a 5:30, a 6:30, and a 7:30. And since we have this guy with us, we thought a little bit earlier would be better, so we set 6:30. So we're gonna head probably to the observation car just before it gets dark, around 4:30, 5 o'clock. Watch for a while, come back to the room, get him all ready, and then go eat some dinner, which is gonna be 3 courses, and they give hour time blocks. So I guess it's supposed to be quite a bit longer of an experience. So in our walk to the dining car, we passed through 2 coach cars you can see here, and then we passed through the observation car, which then leads us to the dining car. And in front of that, I think there are 2 more coach cars and then a sleeper car towards the front of the train, but we are situated at the very far back of the train. So it is currently approaching sunset here in eastern Montana.
Light.
Sunset over eastern Montana. It is about 8 a.m. Central Time. We just stopped here in Minneapolis at the Amtrak station. They said we're here super early, so it's probably going to be a little while. We're going to be here probably at least an hour. So we're going to go out, walk around, take a look at what this place has got to offer. Not much of a view out the window behind me right here, but if we look across the hall, you can see boats. We slept all right, you know, a lot of the same thing, waking up a bunch because lots of stops and goes, but I think overall it was okay. Changed it up a little bit. I slept down on the bottom with Joe. My wife was up on top. Still ended up getting pretty warm in here. Here we are, Minneapolis, Minnesota. You can see our car right there. We are in the sleeper that's at the very back of the train. So I was able to hop off here, give you guys a little look of the view of the Mississippi from the train station, which is pretty cool. This is it's not the first time I've seen the Mississippi, but the closest I've been to it. I've seen it from airplanes a handful of times, but it's cool to see it all the way at the other end. In October, I saw it from the Mississippi River Delta down there in New Orleans. Now I get to see all the way up here in Minnesota. It's actually real pretty out here, I gotta say. We're stopped and we're making our way down to the meal car. Here's the observation car. You can tell it's got the windows on top. We got 1 or 2 coach cars in between, and then we're gonna be at the dining car where we're gonna pick up some breakfast here. It's about 8:30 in the morning, and we got a good 20 minutes or so until we leave Minneapolis. So as we're about 20 minutes away from Union Station in Chicago, we're both happy and sad we have to get off the train. We've had our fun, but definitely after 2 whole days with toddler and not exactly sleeping the greatest, we're all definitely ready to get to the hotel and get a good night's sleep. He had lots of fun here on the train. He got to see lots. He got to experience quite a bit. Having a bathroom worked out pretty well for him. He's going to be 2 here in a couple weeks, but he is potty trained, so it's nice to have a bathroom in the room that he can go in when he says potty. A handful of the longer stops we were able to get out at, which he really enjoyed. It's good for him to get out and run around a little bit, but some of the ones, especially I think it was back in Montana, there was snow on the ground. He'd run around. He fell a couple times. He didn't get hurt, but it made him cry. We were able to take that snow and backfill our cooler and keep drinks and stuff cold in there, so that worked out too. Biggest complaint about this trip, I'd say probably, is it gets really, really hot in this room, even with the temperature turned all the way to low and leaving the door open to let it ventilate. It still would get so hot in here. The 3 of us all were overheated, trying to take naps during the day. It's the same thing. I can only imagine how hot it gets in here in the summer. Maybe they have a real good air system that keeps the place cool, but in the winter, maybe just having the heat on all the time makes it way too hot. I did notice a couple times when our neighbor, whose bathroom is right to that thin little wall, would use their bathroom. We would get some odor in our room, but ultimately it would go away pretty fast. There's good ventilation in here.
Alright, here's the end of our trip. We are 10 minutes from Chicago.
Give or take?
And we spent a total of about 46 hours on this train. One of the greatest experiences ever. I think it was well worth the high price of this extra space in this bedroom.
Here we are, pulling into Chicago Union Station. Kind of creepy underground. Quite the train station, if I've ever seen one. No kidding about this place being big. So we're off the train and we're on foot now, walking to our hotel, which is like a mile away. But anyway, we had a great time on Amtrak. Definitely gonna do another trip at some point, hopefully this year. I appreciate you guys watching this Amtrak video. I'm definitely gonna have more in the future.